Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. Yes, this is the place where you can find the answers to your mental health, relationship, and family questions. I'm your host, Jim Hewitt. Glad you've tuned in today. I think you're going to find today's topic very interesting, so I hope you'll stay tuned because we'll be right back. All right. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. Glad that you've joined me again this week. Today I want to pick up from where I left off last week. We're talking about how to let go of the past. How in the world do I do that? I gave you some tips last week. I gave you 4 ideas on how to begin to let go, or how to let go of the past. And I want to pick that up and give you 3 more today. I want to start out though by just quoting from Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18 again, and I'm going to put this up on the screen so you can follow along. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 18 says, Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I do a new thing in you, now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? What a wonderful verse that is in helping us to deal with how to let go of the past. Many people have a past that perhaps hasn't been very happy. Perhaps it's been filled with mistakes or missed opportunities, hurt, rejection, maybe even broken relationships. This is probably one of the most often asked questions that I have when people come in to see me in the office here, is how I want to let go of the past, but I'm having trouble doing that. I want to forget the past, and I'm having trouble doing that. Well, the reason that you're having trouble doing that is because you are in effect chained to your past. You're unable to experience contentment because of that. The deep down joy inside is no longer there. If that describes you, I can't let go of the past. I can't let go of the past rejection, the past hurt, the past resentment, missed opportunities, mistakes. If any of that describes you, then this podcast is particularly for you. It is particularly for you. And you might want to just take a look at last week's, if you haven't already. Take a look at last week's podcast as well, because it'll give you 4 more tips on how to begin to let go. So I want to conclude today with part 2 of the series, How to Let Go of the Past, by giving you 3 more tips on how to begin to let go of the past. So this would be now tip number 5. Tip number 5, enjoy today. That sounds kind of simple, doesn't it? Enjoy today. We've all read about or listened to teachings about the power of gratitude and the power of thinking positive. We've all seen that, but few of us engage in that. Enjoy today. Enjoy the day today. What is there about today? What is there about not yesterday and not tomorrow, but what is one thing that you could just think about for today that would help you to enjoy the day? Earlier I was just enjoying the fresh sunshine, the warmth of the sunshine. I was outside just kind of roaming around in the yard and just kind of doing different things, and just enjoying being out there. And I thought to myself how fortunate that I really am, how blessed I really am to live in a place like I'm living, to be in a place where I'm at. And God has just blessed immeasurably, and it just kind of caused me to enjoy the day even more. If we're to enjoy the day, we need to do that. We need to enjoy it to the fullest extent. I can't I can't enjoy for you. I mean, I know that may sound ridiculous, but I can't enjoy the day for you. I can enjoy it for me. You must enjoy it for yourself. It's not that other people help you to enjoy the day. Now, you might have relationships, or you might have different things that you're doing with different people that help you to enjoy the day. But they are not responsible for your enjoyment. See that? If they're responsible for your enjoyment, they're also responsible for when you're sad as well. You can enjoy the day today by making a conscious decision to look at the positive things in your life. As small as that may seem right now, just the fact that you were able to get up this morning and you were able to walk and talk and do and go and do the things that you were doing. My older brother has a saying, and I've kind of adopted this saying as my own, and I give this saying away. He used to always say, as long as you're on the green side of the grass, you're doing fine. I like that. I like that. The imagery there. As long as you're on the green side of the grass, this is the day to enjoy. We used to sing a song, when we were in church camp. You might remember. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. We need to remember. Singing does something for us. And the words to the music do something for us. There's a difference between joy and happiness. I have a lot of people who come into my office who say, I just want to be happy, and if I do this, I'll be happy, or if I do that, I'll be happy. If I get married, I'll be happy. If I get divorced, I'll be happy. If once my kids are up and have left home, I'll be happy. See, happiness is externally generated. If the weather's fine, if it's warm outside, if the sun's shining, then yeah, okay, I'm going to be happy. But if it's cloudy and rainy and yucky outside, well, then I'm not very happy. I love the movie Dead Poets Society. It's one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. In that movie, there is a phrase that is used as he is teaching these boys at a prestigious boys' school, prep school, and his character, Robin Williams' character, is Mr. Keating, and Mr. Keating he gathers all the boys together, and this one scene. If you've seen the movie, you might remember it, and they're in front of this trophy case. Glass trophy case, and they're looking at all the boys who used to be a part of that school in history past, and he uses the phrase carpe diem. Carpe diem. Carpe diem is Latin for seize the day. Seize the day. Take every opportunity that you have and live today to the fullest. Get up in the morning and just, what in the world is God going to have in store for me today? What's going to go good for me today? What challenges am I going to face today? How can I be of influence to other people today? Carpe diem. Seize the day. And when you stop and think about that, really this moment and this day is all that we're promised. We're not promised tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. We're not promised any of that. As the old saying goes, we're only one heartbeat away from death. What are you going to make this day? It's a conscious decision. Now, you will get up in the morning, or maybe you got up this morning, and you decided to be cranky, moody, crabby, irritable, those kind of things. You decided to do that. But you can also decide that, I'm struggling a little bit, but this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice. See, there's a difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is externally, is based upon external circumstances. Joy, however, is internally motivated. That things may be rotten outside, things may be, it may be cloudy outside, it may be rainy outside, but you know what? I'm happy in that. I experience joy. Joy is not determined by circumstances or situations. Joy is an internal thing. We used to sing, I've got joy, 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 down in my heart, you say. There's a difference between joy and happiness. So I want to encourage you that if you want to let go of the past, if you really want to let go of the past, enjoy today. Number 6, walk by faith and not by sight. Now, we've heard that before. It comes out of the writings of the Apostle Paul that faith is something that we do. It's who we are. We know the scriptures. Maybe you've memorized some of those scriptures, and that's great and fine and wonderful. But are you practicing what those words say? Walk by faith, not by sight. The way I like to put it is that God is saying to us, are you going to believe what you see, or are you going to believe what I say? Are you going to believe what you see, or are you going to believe what I say? Now, Scripture also teaches that as a man thinks, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. Instead of focusing on our circumstances, if we want something different, then we must focus on what God says. God says, focus on faith. Have faith in me. Trust in me. Rely upon me. Walk by faith and not by sight. Now, is that faith in human beings? Well, probably not. Probably not, because other human beings like ourselves, we're limited by time and space, right? We're frail. We're prone to selfishness instead of selflessness. We want what we want when we want it, how we want it. And so, no, it's not trusting and putting your faith in someone. Walk by faith. Order your behavior is what it actually says. Order your behavior after faith. Walk by faith and not by sight. Keep saying the promise over and over and over and over again. That without God, it is impossible. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So if you really want to please God, then there's, watch this, there's no place for faith and doubt. They cannot coexist. It is impossible for faith and doubt to coexist. So you're either going to doubt or you're going to have faith. Now, that's not faith in God doing it when I want Him to do it, how I want Him to do it. No. This is simply trusting in Him, surrounding yourself with those promises that God has said in His Word. Walk by faith and not by sight. If you really want to let go of the past, then you walk by faith. That God is going to deal with you, God is going to deal with your circumstances in a way that will bless you. Walk by faith and not by sight. And then finally, number 7, is to believe and understand the power of forgiveness. I talk about forgiveness a lot, and I do that intentionally, because forgiveness is a powerful thing. If you have unforgiveness, unforgiveness gives way to bitterness, and bitterness gives way. How that follows? See how that follows? There may be somebody that you haven't forgiven for something years and years and years ago. Maybe in your adolescence or in your childhood. Forgiveness does not condone what was done. Somebody has hurt you. Somebody has maligned your character. Somebody has broken your trust. Well, to forgive them, first of all, that's a choice. That's a personal thing. It doesn't have anything to do with what that other person does. Forgiveness is about you. It's about you letting that other person up off the mat. That's what it's about. It doesn't condone what they've done or haven't done, said or not said. It doesn't condone anything like that. It just simply says, I choose to let you up off the mat. Now, do I have to say something to that person? Not necessarily. In fact, in some cases, it's probably better that you don't. But see, forgiveness is a process. It's not an event. It is continually surprises me how many people think of forgiveness as an event. Well, you know, it's Monday morning at 9 o'clock, bing, I forgive you. No. Forgiveness is a process. I may be in the process of forgiving you. There's a lot of things I've got to work through in order to forgive you. Now, it may be that you forgive that person, but you're not in relationship with them. See that? It may be that the hurt is so deep that the, you know, whatever was said or not said, done or not done, it hurts so deep that, you know what, but I forgive you, but I don't want to be around you. Forgiveness is a free gift with no strings attached. You can forgive a person and still not trust them, and that's okay. That's okay. You could forgive, listen to what I'm saying now, you could forgive them and still not trust them. Forgiveness is not accepting the person's action as right. Just as the Lord forgives us, we must also forgive others. The bottom line here is that for believers, if you're a believer listening or watching this, he says that we are to forgive others as I have forgiven you. No one else can forgive for you. You can't send an emissary. You can't send someone representing you to say, well, so-and-so, you know, they forgive you. No. You are the one who must forgive those who have hurt you. I love the impact of Jesus' words, all through the Gospels, but particularly as he was hanging on the cross with respect to forgiveness. There he was, bleeding, dying. He had been beaten to a pulp, whipped, and now nailed to a cross. And in spite of all of that, he said, Father, forgive them, because they don't even know what they're doing. Wow. Think about that. Think about the people or the person in your life. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, child, parent, whoever it might be. Think about what your unforgiveness is. It's doing more harm to you than it is them. Now, in some cases, it may mean that, kind of healing the relationship, but in some cases, it may not be that. That still does not necessitate us, holding on to unforgiveness. I tell people, unforgiveness will eat your lunch. It will eat your lunch. It will give you physical problems, migraine headaches. It will give you tension headaches. It will give you indigestion. It will give you ulcers. It will give you cardiac problems. It just affects us. And so no one can forgive for you. You have to be the one to forgive. Now remember, forgiveness is a process. It's not an event. And so I may be in the process of forgiving you. I'm working on that. I'm working on how to do that. I'm working on, getting rid of, letting go of the past hurts, letting go of what you did back there, in the past, letting go of all of that so that I can, and this is such an integral part of that. It is a powerful part of that you cannot let go of the past without doing some kind of forgiveness of somebody in your life. Maybe the person that you need to forgive is yourself. Think about that. Maybe you're the person who has screwed up royally. I mean, you have just messed things up and you brought it on yourself, and so you want to move past it. Well, forgiving yourself of the past mistakes, missed opportunities, hurts, all of that stuff is an integral part of letting go of the past. They go hand in hand. So what will you do about forgiveness or unforgiveness, as the case may be? Well, I've listed 3 more. There's 7 total, what I discussed this week as well as last week. And I want to kind of wrap this whole thing up now, this 2-part series on letting go of the past. letting go of the past, it takes work. This is hard stuff. It takes work. It's like, getting a pick and a shovel and getting down in there and picking away and shoveling stuff out. If we want to move on to a new beginning, then we must first let go of the past. Again, the choice is ours individually. The choice is ours. Paul said, the Apostle Paul said, "This one thing I do, forgetting that which is behind me, I press forward for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus," letting go of that stuff behind me. This one thing I do, there's purpose, there's intent, there's intentionality about it. This one thing I do, forgetting that which is behind, I press forward. I look forward, I step forward, I lean forward, forgetting about that, because there's nothing really you can do about that. You can't go back. You can't. There's not a time machine where you can kind of roll time back and do things differently. No. Remember the verse that we started out with in Isaiah 43, verse 18. Do not remember the former things. Do not remember the former things. Or consider. Now that word consider is talking about just letting it press in on your mind, thinking about it, Remember, I talked in the last podcast about letting go of that baggage, getting rid of all of that. Don't consider the things of old. I want to do, he says, I want to do a new thing. And I can't do a new thing in you as long as you're holding on to the past stuff. I want to do a brand new thing in you. I want to use you. I want to give you hope. I want to give you, gifts. I want to bless you more than you're willing to be blessed, and bless you more than what you're able to contain. I want to do all of that for you, but I can't do that when you're hanging on to the past. And so I want to invite you today, this day, Monday. If you're watching this later in the week, that's great. This comes out on Monday. I want you to consider this. First of all, are you willing to let go of the past? I know maybe you don't know how. That's okay. Do you want to? Do you really, really want to let go of the past? If you do, then these are the 7 things that you need to do to let go of the past. If you don't, okay, that's up to you. But you will be miserable, and you will make the people around you miserable, and your relationships will be forever tainted and forever negative because you can't let go of the past. Listen to me. This is the day. Today is the day. God says, I want to do a new thing in you. But you have to let go of some things in order for me to do a new thing. You can't have the new and the old mixing together. It just doesn't work. And it won't work. So what will you do today? Will you hang on to the past? Or will you freely and completely, once and for all, let go of the past? Here's the key. Be intentional about letting go of the past. Well, listen, I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Lifeline for Daily Living. If something that I have said today has caused some concern, or maybe you have some questions, there's 3 ways that you can get a hold of me. Number 1 is by calling my office. That number is 573-732-4575. Again, that's 573-732-4575. Or you can email me. My email address is lifelineonline@hotmail.com. All one word now, lifelineonline@hotmail.com. The 3rd way you can reach me is if you're watching this on Facebook, you can private message me, give me your information, ask a question. I will respond to you. I promise I will. Any one of those 3 ways, or all 3 of those ways for that matter, I want to talk to you and help you to get past your past. So in the meantime, I will see you right here next week, right here on Lifeline for Daily Living.